Mine actually originates from just some discussions I had over the weekend and a little bit at the end of last week. So I was discussing with some friends, and we were discussing times when, my friend made an off comment saying how movies are never better than books. Okay?
False.
Well, that's
it is
not
a
true.
falsehood. Okay?
That's not
I'll be the
true at
first
all.
to say that.
Friend of yours, Weston?
Doesn't need to be named
Not a
for
friend.
his
Do I
sake.
know this friend?
Yes.
It's not a friend of mine.
So that's the reason why I'm not mentioning this individual.
Why?
You know them. But I
not
disagree
gonna
with that,
roast him.
and I know of instances where movies are, in fact, better than the books that they originated from.
Can I just make a quick comment here? And that time would be every time because books require
are
me
wrong.
to read.
You are wrong,
And he
Jordan.
doesn't know how.
That's true, you know?
You didn't have to expose me like that.
You exposed yourself.
I'm
That's
pretty
true.
sure that's
Agreed,
illegal.
Ace.
But anyway, so what are some times you guys have seen movies or instances of movies you guys know of that are, in fact, better than the books? So I'll start off with one of them that I think is probably the biggest gain over the book. And in my opinion, that's actually Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Agreed.
Like, I've read the books back in elementary school. I loved them.
I love the books.
They were really well done. But the movies, they really knocked it out of the park, you know? The entire original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me about The Hobbit. I despise The Hobbit. That's a later part of this.
That's not Lord of the Rings.
Hey, Weston,
That's
what about
not
The Hobbit?
So, Lord of the Rings, though, phenomenal.
So good.
Oh, they took everything that was good about the books, got it in there, and then added stuff that
So
made it even
good.
better and easier to follow. They took a lot of the extraneous wording out and just so good. So good. You know?
Yep, I totally agree. I love the books. I read them
Mhm.
in 5th grade, I think. It was great. But they didn't do what the movies did for me.
Agreed.
The movies were so freaking good. One of the best trilogies ever. If you guys haven't watched them. Jordan hasn't watched them.
Well,
Okay, to be fair, I have tried to watch
Have you
them.
watched them, Logan?
The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I've seen
That's
a
a no.
majority of them.
So Logan's
I-
in there with Jordan.
Well,
I've tried
seen
to
a
watch
major-
them.
I've legit seen like a majority of them. I don't think I've sat through straight through and
Where's
watched them
PK
all.
when we need her? She can yell at you guys.
I would love to.
PK always yells at me. Hold
You
on.
know what? We're going to have to fix this. I know myself and Nick and Katie were playing a day where we were going to sit down and have a marathon and watch through the entire extended edition trilogy.
We need more than a day.
I was say how
Well,
long? That's like they're 4 hours a movie almost. Like how long is that going to take?
They're long.
12 hours.
Oh God, what is wrong
So-
with
It'll be a
you?
long day.
So
Working
we'll have
full
to
shift.
drag you in on this.
But yeah, they're
So-
so spectacular. I don't know. It's tough. So some books, you just don't beat. The movies, at least that are made, don't beat them,
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about visual media that just adds something.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything you know, everything you love about the book, or should be, plus more.
Yeah.
It gives you that.
Mhm.
It's not just imagination anymore. It's something real.
Mm-hmm.
you
Well,
know?
I think too. Obviously we're all dudes, and I think it's fair to say that guys are mostly visual. Like they always do better with visual stuff.
not
Not
necessarily.
necessarily.
I don't know. I know I
I'd
am much more
I'd
of a
say
visual
lot-
person.
Most people are probably visual.
Mhm.
Just people in general, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just a general, a very common thing. I guess not everyone's visual, obviously. Some are
Wait,
auditory and all that, but
Ace just put in chat. Forrest Gump was a book.
I literally
Yes, it
just
was.
looked
What?
up-
It was a book first.
you
I'm
would
okay,
be
well
so
then-
surprised.
Well, then
how
that's
many
absolutely
movies-
better. I guarantee because the movie's perfect.
How many movies are actually from?
You want to know something else?
Vast
That was
majority, man.
a book that I discovered like 2 years ago. Read the book and was like, this sucked compared to the movie. Shrek.
Wait,
It was
hold
actually
on.
a children's book.
Are you for real?
Yeah, it had like somewhere between 35 and 40 pages.
Shrek is masterpiece. Though.
What?
Yeah, it was originally a children's book.
It was not.
Look it up.
Oh my God, dude, my mind is blown right now.
You telling me the book is better?
No,
No,
the
he said the
movie
book-
is better.
He said the
yeah,
book sucked.
okay.
The book sucked
Yeah, the
compared
movie's-
to the movie.
I had no
So-
idea that was even a
Yeah.
book,
Mike
though.
Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz. That adds so much right there.
Mhm.
Those
Did you know?
personalities.
Did you know it was almost Chris Farley?
Yeah.
They had
Really?
like they
He
had
died, though.
screen testings, and there's like actual like storyboard art and stuff of like Chris Farley doing
Honestly,
it, and
most
it's
things are books, guys. You'd be
it's actually
surprised.
crazy.
Most movies out there started from a book or a
I'm trying to think-
screenplay.
That's
Not
insane.
a screenplay, but a short story.
that's one of Mice and Men. I thought that movie was great. I don't think it was
I
like
don't think I've watched the movie,
super
actually.
like-
I've read the book.
insanely better than the book, but I think it was better than the book by a bit.
That's insane, though. Like, I legit had no idea.
Lord of the Rings is my number one.
Lord of the Rings is number one for me. Another one that like I thought the book was good, but the movie they just perfected the humor in it was The Princess Bride.
Yes, I love that book or that movie.
But there was an actual book first, and that's why they have
Yeah.
those scenes of the child reading the book. It's actually because it was originally a book. But they perfected the humor in the movie and just took it to that next level, you know? So that's another instance where I'd say that the movie was better
Sure.
than the book.
Yeah.
I actually had no idea. Once again,
Well, that's because
My name is
you still need to get your
killed my
literary
father,
skills
prepared to
developed.
that would require me to read, sir. I have.
That
All right,
is
so
ready to learn.
to give
Exactly.
you an idea on how little I read, I have 3 books here, like in my bedroom that I've been planning on reading, and I have had them all for over a year,
Probably
and I
book
haven't
is-
even started.
See, also like
But
I prefer to read practical books, like stuff that I'll
you
get
see,
stuff out
nonfiction
of.
stuff or like commentaries or whatever that kind of stuff, are much harder for me to read than like a fiction, a fantasy. or
See, I'm the
something.
complete opposite. I'd rather
like,
like if I want to
Total
like
creative. So
you know, if I want to do like fantasy or whatever, I'd rather just watch a movie or something where I could see it visually.
Same.
But like for me, it's like if I'm gonna read, I want to like learn something from what I'm reading.
Yeah, because like I have, it's a book by Tim Tebow, which is obviously, just, yeah, I mean, he's the best. But then I have John Cooper's book that I
That's
still
a
need to
good one.
read.
I've read that one.
I still need to read it. It's sitting
really
it's
good.
sitting there next to my bed, like it's there ready to go. I haven't. I've read like maybe halfway, not even halfway through,
Oh,
and then I drop off because I lose interest in reading so
I'm
quick.
about to give you a way to read it though. So the audiobook
Is read by him.
Is read by
Yeah.
him.
So I actually was considering getting the audiobook and
That's
downloading
cheating.
it.
That's
Is
cheating.
it though?
yeah.
I
that
don't know
could-
if that's
I feel like
cheating.
that could
I
be a
feel like for
tablet
people like me, that's perfect.
So you're lazy.
Or I would rather.
It's laziness.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's laziness.
It's laziness.
Like
Just learn to read, Jordan.
No,
No, because like if I'm driving down the road, like when I drove out
Reading
to
is something you need in today's society, and
When-
pretty much always have.
when I drove out to
need
Virginia, you have no idea how nice it was to
That's
throw
right.
on podcast and listen to that while I'm going. Like that,
Some people go back to school and learn how to read, Jordan.
I know how.
I'm gonna
to
be honest.
read.
I'm kind of with Jordan on this one. It's hard for me to focus on reading. Like I have
Thank
like
you.
Because you fall asleep.
no, I have just a hard time sitting still. Like when I get to reading a book, like I can only read like maybe a chapter or like a few pages here and there because like I just
You're not
get
reading
too
fantasy.
It's true.
I just get too like
Read a real book.
you?
jittery and like just want to do something
Oh,
else.
naughty.
But like hearing the audiobook, it just helps me.
Trust me, read something that's actually fiction. It's going to change the way you read.
Honestly, I started reading heavily in like freshman year of high school
Yeah.
because I'm a big video game guy, and all the Halo books started coming out.
Okay, I mean I get that. Hey,
And
I see that my name's
books
here,
are
but I can't
huge.
read anything
they were
else. What's that say?
So freaking good. I stayed up late at night.
It's telling us to keep bullying you because you're illiterate.
Oh, okay. No, that's another thing I always forget about that exists is like video game books.
Yeah, dude, they expand upon the lore and the story so
The Star Wars
much.
ones
So,
are pretty decent. I've read those.
actually-
I've read some of those. Darth Plagueis is
It's
really good.
stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
That could
yeah.
be another thing too. Is like, what's better, the book or the video game?
That's a different discussion, though.
How can you like
Because that's hard to compare.
put those together?
Well, like because The Witcher was a book, and then they made the video games out of it.
That is true.
Yes, but one is just a print media, and one is that you're actually playing through a
You're
game. Like
interacting
Okay, and one's
with
a
it.
one's the
not.
book, and
You're
one's
just
the movie you're
You're
watching.
actually doing other. You're
Well, no, but
controlling
I get that. Like,
One's-
one story would be better,
well,
or something like that.
I'm going
the
to say,
story's the same in Halo. It
What
just
I'm
adds
saying
more
is-
to it.
yeah, with movies and books, there's no real interactivity or control, no agency over the story. With video games, there's an agency, or at least there should
too,
be.
Tim.
So,
Thank you, Tim. Very cool.
Wow,
But,
Tim's actually alive.
It could be his spirit from the beyond because he's a corpse still. But
True.
yeah,
Tim is abandoned.
What?
That
So,
is
what
sad.
do you guys think about the Harry Potter books?
I was just
movies?
gonna bring it up.
'Cause
I've never read the books to be honest.
I've read the first one and I hated it. Not like obviously it's the
I
same
think
thing.
The first two books, just like the first two movies, are a bit different than the rest of the series, from what
Yeah.
I understand.
well, actually, it's more the first four
Is
are
it
a little
four?
different than the last three.
So it's just the two movies. Then,
Yeah,
and the
I just hate the
Mhm.
write. Like it was really hard, and it's probably because I tried reading them at like a really young age. But like I read the first
so
one.
What
and
age?
It'd been middle school,
You're
I
different,
think,
Wes.
early middle school.
Okay, I am different then. Don't worry.
But like I read the first one, and it took me a long time to get to the first one, and like I hated the wording. Like it was just so like just lofty words and just like, just tell me what you're trying to say.
But
See,
I
I-
never read those, but
I read them when I was in elementary school because
Yeah,
we needed
same.
like AR points, and I was
read
like,
Lord of the Rings.
I was like, you know what? I need AR points. I don't want to read. Like even back in elementary, I was trying to avoid reading as much as I could. So I'd watch the movie, like skim through the book as fast as possible, and then go take the test. And honestly, like it got me. I passed, so I mean, it got me to the point where I was getting my
That's what
AR
most
goal,
people did.
and
Wow.
it was
Yeah.
awesome. So like in elementary school, I would do that, and then in high school, they would be like, I think it was every Friday for English class. We just had to
Damn,
read.
that movie's great.
We had to read the whole time, right? So I went and I checked out a Harry Potter book, and I had that book checked out the entire semester. And the librarian's like, "You've had this book for 8 weeks. Like, are you ever going to return it?" And I go, "Well, I need it every Friday, and I just hide my phone behind it." And she's like, like I would just hide my phone there. And that's how I'd spend my Friday reading. And she's like, "Yeah, you can go sit anywhere in the room." So I'd go sit in the back corner where she wouldn't be able to see behind me no matter what. And I'd have my phone on the book, or my iPod. It was actually an iPod Touch. And I'd like scroll through memes on my iPod. And that was how I read
How you learned how to read.
every Friday. It was beautiful, man. So
Or lack thereof.
that was my Harry Potter experience right there.
I actually really like the Harry Potter movies. I think they're actually pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty decent.
I will.
The first two are pretty tough, like I said. But after that,
Yeah, they're decent. I think they're
thoroughly
kind of
enjoy them, to be
overrated,
honest.
but that's just me.
I will say this: I read
never read the books.
I read the Harry Potter series would have been into 5th grade, into 6th grade year. Back then, they only had through the first 4, so only through the Goblet of Fire. It didn't come out with Order of the Phoenix until I was into middle school, and then etc. Because they didn't release the final one until I was a senior in high school. So, what was it, freshman year of college? It was somewhere around then. But
Either way, it was like 50.
I
years
actually
ago.
was. I will say this: like, I actually kind of connect with the movies in a special way because I was the same age as the actors at the time, like that they were portraying. Because you're supposed to start at 11 years old. The movie started when I was 11, so I had a special connection with that.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
that makes sense.
Interesting.
Sure.
So I was the same age as what they would have been in the movies, and I kind
Yeah.
of followed along with that. And as they released them,
I get that.
kept up with it. It wasn't until the later books where they kind of got a little off on the aging, but
Yeah.
in the early years, it was spot on for my age. So
I mean,
I
that
had a
makes
special
sense, though.
connection with
Sure,
that. So
yeah.
I'm kind of biased toward the movies on that
That's
one.
all right.
But I will
Like
say,
I've never read the book, so.
I'm also a guy who preferred the first 4 books over the last 3. I felt like the ball was a little bit dropped, like it was a bit more forced, if that makes sense.
I like, well, yeah, a lot of that happens in the later books when you're wrapping up and there's so much going on. And they just have to. That's why they split them into 2 movies or 3 movies or whatever, and they still kind of suck. But I don't know. I like the mid range pretty much. You know, Prisoner to, I don't know, Order of the Phoenix. Those 3 are pretty much my favorites, I guess. But
My favorite would have to be the Goblet of Fire, followed by the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Goblet
so.
of Fire is probably my favorite too. But and then I would agree.
But yeah, that's not the matter of the subject. But yeah, I would agree in that case. I felt the movies were a little better overall.
Sure. Yeah.
So
It gave you something that you have imagined for so long as, you know, a physical representation.
Yeah.
You knew what Harry Potter looked like, you know, as a person now in real life, not just what the description says in the book. Now, Daniel Radcliffe was Harry Potter, you know. So that it just adds a little extra. But sorry, this is totally off topic, but it's the topic of Harry Potter. I just remember when that last book came out, you know, everyone's flipping out and they're like in lines waiting for the book like at midnight, like a video game thing, but like a book. And I watched this YouTube video where this guy would drive by with a megaphone and yell out spoilers.
Oh no!
They're like fake spoilers, but he's like, Hermione is killed by Snape on page 752.
Oh my
and people were
gosh.
just flipping out, like running, like crying and like running after him in his car and stuff.
That's
It was,
amazing.
like, the greatest video ever.
I
It was
love
so
that.
funny.
That's actually kind of funny.
I love that. Also,
Voldemort kills Harry, which actually happened, but
this is totally off topic, but I just now thought of my topic, so we're good.
Good for you.
okay,
I think
okay.
another one that I haven't read the whole book, but just kind of what I have and like what I know about this book is I think
yeah, okay.
the newest one, not the original movie or TV show or whatever it was.
The miniseries, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about like the new
new
2-part movie. I
They
just
changed a bunch.
Yeah, they changed a bunch. I think they added or they took away some of the kind of really weird
Took
stuff.
away a lot of the stuff.
There was a lot of like really kind of messed up stuff in the book.
Lots of sexual stuff.
Yes.
Lots of sexual stuff.
Wait,
and
isn't that movie isn't that like a bunch of kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's some
Yeah.
really weird scenes in the book that they took out of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you're not gonna.
But it also, I just really like, especially like the second part. Like, the second part blew me away. In all honesty, like,
I haven't actually watched the second part of it.
oh, you haven't?
New
part
movies,
two?
so
I
yeah.
thought it was way worse.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought
it didn't hold up at all compared to
I thought it
the
was
kids' version.
I thought it was amazing. Like,
Kids' version was so
I think it
good.
was like, I think if you're looking at it from like what it is, like kind of this horror movie, I think definitely the first one's way better. But
So
the second one surprisingly was really funny. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there was humor in it and stuff, but that's not the point of the movie.
yeah,
Like, what is it?
Bill Hader.
Yeah, Bill Hader and the other guy, his friend, like their back and forth is hilarious in that movie, you know. But that's
love
not the point of the movie, you know.
Yeah,
I've actually never seen those movies. My sister
they're
watched them quite a
good.
bit.
They're really
the
good
atmosphere
actually.
just doesn't hold up the same when it's kids. Or
Or when it's
adults,
adults.
two
Yeah.
kids, you know.
Yeah,
Like when it's you're in the place, you put yourself in the shoes of like a child, a young person dealing with all the same stuff the adults are, and they have to tackle it as, you know, your kids
yeah,
with like no one older than you is helping. They're all, you know, under the spell, I guess,
yeah.
of the town. But like it just works so much better
Mm-hmm.
that first, you know, introduction of the creature to
Yeah.
the children. So
Mm-hmm.
I preferred the first one much more, but
Mm-hmm.
all around it was a good rendition.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I still need to watch that second part, so
That's
I'll need
pretty
to.
good.
But
I like it.
My sister said it was really good. I
It's
think
worth
the
watching. It is.
It is.
the only experience I really have with that is the epic rap battle of history where it was the Joker versus it.
Versus
Pennywise.
Or yeah, like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pennywise.
Yeah, Pennywise. There you go. That was pretty funny, but
Yeah. Yep.
I like that quite a bit.
It was
What-
good. I mean, there's a lot of jump scares and stuff, but it was more than that. It was scary for more than that. So it worked good as a horror. movie.
Now, kind of keeping on the Stephen King thing, have you guys read the Shining book?
I have
I've
not
only
actually.
Because
I've only
from
read
what
just a little bit.
I
I
haven't,
dropped it, so
but
I haven't.
apparently like Stephen King hated the movie, and like that's why he did like his own movie or like TV series or something for it. Because apparently the one with Jack Nicholson, like he hated it. So
He hated that one. Oh,
Yeah.
He doesn't like much. I guess renditions from his own works into movie form.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them, he's very particular. A lot of them he doesn't like.
Well, I
You know?
get that though,
I think
because
he
you have a
actually-
specific vision when you
Yeah.
write it. So I mean, I totally understand that.
I think he, what was it, Doctor Sleep, the second one? I think he actually didn't mind that one, from what I remember.
which is
But I could
weird
be wrong,
because
too.
I've heard that was terrible.
I've heard bad and I've heard good. I haven't seen it myself. so
I
yeah.
feel like
Me neither.
personally, like if
You
I were to
really
write a
loved
story
the
and
knew
then
it, though.
I think if I wrote a
Yeah, well,
story
he's
and
in it.
Dan made a movie about it, no offense to you, Dan, I don't know if I'd like it because I would picture things way different. So I totally understand
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I
It
get
is.
that 100%.
Yeah, no, he was in the newest It. He was
Yeah,
in
a
the
little
first
bit.
part 2. He was like the store owner.
Yep. He was really a fan of what they did, the changes they made and stuff, and how they made it their own. He said that was really, really good. But,
Yeah.
So that's cool to get, you know.
Yeah,
the
I was
okay
curious.
From the creator. That's
Yeah,
pretty
that's what I was like. I was
Mhm.
curious, like, if the creator of the book saying The Shining movie was bad, even though that's one of the most critically acclaimed movies, I think, ever.
cool. Jack Nicholson had a really good acting performance in that movie. So,
Yeah.
but it just wasn't what he created. You know?
Interesting.
But back to the whole book thing. I don't know. I can't think of any more that the movies were better than
Yeah.
the books. Just thinking. I'm sure that. I mean, there's plenty. I guarantee.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Just off the
100%.
top of my head, I can't.
Yeah.
But I can think of one where it doesn't hold a candle to it. If you want to talk about
Sure,
that,
we can
real quick.
delve into
Yeah,
that
we
pretty
can
quick.
Go on.
This is probably my favorite book series ever, and that's the Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh,
Those are
I
really
If
feel
you
this.
haven't read 'em,
I
holy
feel
crap, they're
this.
so good.
But you
They're
don't like
so
the
good.
movie.
I don't mind the movies. They're not terrible, but not even can't hold a candle to the books. Nothing.
Man.
mm-mm.
I have
Nowhere
so many
close.
fond memories of those books and movies.
Yeah.
Like, I remember back when, like, I had my little league in Georgia, like T-ball stuff. We would have games, and then in between games, we'd just hang out and play at the park at this little playground, and we would play like Chronicles of Narnia, and like me and a few of the other random kids there. It was really fun. Like, I just vividly remember that, and I love those movies growing up.
Great story. Such great story and lore, but
It is.
You said that you would play Narnia, and that just reminded me when I was in middle school. I'd go over to my buddy's house and we'd play like Modern Warfare, like Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare on the 360, and we'd get in game chat and we would yell for Narnia as we would like run into battle.
There's a great meme that came from that.
Yep.
But yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But movies were great. I mean, they were kids' movies. Like the books were technically kids' books.
Yeah.
They were kids' books, but the movies were toned down even a little bit more
Yeah.
to be, the PG.
Yeah, because there's a
stuff,
lot
which is
more like
fine,
there's a lot more like hidden stuff in the books.
There's
a
more
lot.
Actual, violent battle and stuff.
Oh, speaking of Narnia,
But-
what was the candy the kid loved? Was it Turkish Delight?
Turkish Delight.
Not good. Just throwing that out there. Not a good candy.
Turkish Delight, the dessert.
I've tried it.
Yeah. But in the books,
Never had it, so I don't know.
obviously the line "The Witch in the Wardrobe" is like the most famous one, right? But it's
Yeah.
not the 1st one.
No.
And I didn't like how it started with that.
Yeah, the
I
first one was the
understand
magician's nephew,
Yeah.
right?
I understand why it started with that,
Mhm.
and that was probably the way to go to get it out
Yeah.
there and stuff. But
Mhm.
I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
But they're going back. They're making a Netflix series right now about it.
Oh, are they?
Totally different. I think they're starting with the magician's nephew, and they're going through them all. I'm pretty sure
That'd be interesting.
if it's
That'd be really
Netflix
cool.
movie or series, I think it's both. To be honest,
I'll need
but-
to get that so I can actually watch it. I don't have Netflix,
I love those.
But
Just the whole world,
fantastic
the whole
books.
world
Read
of
those,
that.
man. Read those.
Yeah.
For sure.
Agreed.
I love the whole.
They're at a level I think even you could follow.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I just
Okay.
love the lore
They're
of.
easy reads. Yeah.
Just the lore of the
They're
world is
pretty easy
awesome.
reads, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're really good though.
They're really good.
Really good. Especially when you understand the kind of hidden meanings behind things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
C.S. Lewis is a
C.S.
genius.
Lewis is a
He
genius.
really is.
Yeah. Going back to the Turkish Delight thing, though, since you said you never had it, I'm pretty sure it was a Turkish Delight if I remember correctly, because my sister and I, we made a video where we were trying a bunch of different candy that someone sent us from South Africa, and that was one of the things that got sent. And she goes, I don't want to be mean. And I go, just be honest. Like, say what you want to say. She goes, this tastes like a retirement home smells. Just to give you an idea
Interesting.
Okay.
of
Okay.
what we thought of Turkish Delight. Like, it wasn't what you would expect. It wasn't too good. So that's, you know,
Sure.
Okay, that's fair.
yeah, that's just a little side piece on that. It just, we didn't enjoy it.
Yeah. So I agree. I didn't think that the movies held a candle to the books either in that one.
No.
Another one that really disappointed me for that, kind of along that same lines, was actually like going back to Stephen King's The Dark Tower.
Oh yeah. Gosh.
Was that the movie you had Idris Elba and
Yep.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey?
Yep.
Was that, yeah.
Yeah. The
Like,
book was.
What a cool book series and lore.
Yeah, because isn't that like that's like the
That
tie
connect-
into all of
that
the
connects
universe?
All of Stephen King's
Yeah.
universes.
Connects
And
all of
books.
it within that tower. And then the movie was just.
Not good.
Because isn't like the
Gunslinger.
isn't the like creature that like Pennywise is?
Yep.
There's like they come from that world or whatever.
Well, the door connects to the world that they come from. That's how they
they're
traverse
known
between
from
them.
there in that world.
Interesting.
They're as the enemy of whatever I can't remember what they're called, the gods or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the mortal enemy of them or whatever.
Interesting.
Yep.
So that was another one that I was really disappointed by.
Yeah.
Because that's
We went together, didn't we?
Yes.
With Dustin and everybody. I thought we did.
Yeah, we did.
That was a big letdown.
It was a big letdown.
But
Some could even say huge.
Shut up, Jordan. All right.
One last because we probably should move on, but just one that I can think of off the top of my head is the Percy Jackson books and movies. I was huge in Percy Jackson. Like
that came out right after my time.
Yeah.
So I didn't
Remind
get
me,
yeah,
what's
so
that?
Percy Jackson is
He's
he's the son of Poseidon, and it's like Olympic.
Yeah, like what were the name of the books or the movies?
So this
Like the
first one is the
Lightning
Lightning Thief, and then the Sea of Monsters, and then
It's Percy Jackson and the
They-
Lightning Thief. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, and then they didn't make any more after the first two. I don't think so, but I
Are you
was
sure it's not one more? Did they make one like not too long ago?
maybe they did. I
could
can't
be
remember.
very wrong.
I
can't
know I've
remember.
seen the first two of those.
I know there's two.
I've never
The
read
first
that.
one I've really watched, but I haven't seen the second one, but like once. But I was so into those books. Like, I had a hard time like reading and stuff as a kid and growing up. Even now, I still do. But like, I was really bad back then, and like that was for some reason the one book series I can get into, and I was huge into that that lore and that world. And I watched the movies. Like, it was alright, like it was decent, but I think the books are way better.
Yep.
So.
lots of those kid books that made it to the screen, suffered from that kind of same thing, I think. So, yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, cool stuff. I think we spent enough time on my topic. Otherwise, we'll be here all night.
about 25 minutes so far.
So the moral of the story: read more, but no, the book is not always better. Okay, there are times when the movie is actually better than the book.
That's truth.
Every time. So
take a look in the book.